Yo guys, I'm back at the lab. I know my lighting's still bad, but bear with me. So, what I want to talk about today? I took 5 stop outs last week. 4 stop outs, one trade I closed in a loss, and this is how much I lost. So how much is this? Let's count. Okay. Anyway, it's a tiny loss, right? Because all my lot sizes I'm taking right now are 0.01. So I'm finally starting to be more disciplined and patient because right now I'm doing the Justin Mueller's challenge. It's an unofficial one. It's just something he talked about in one of his videos or in one of his live streams. The challenge consists of I think it's like 3 or 4 rules. You only have to trade. You only have to trade. You can only trade one micro lot per trade. You can't stack your trades to win more. You can only enter once per trade per setup. Let's say you can't stack your trades. You can't re-enter if you get weaked out, and you only get 3 to 5 trades a week. So I'm using the I'm using the 5 trades a week version. That's actually homemade apple juice mixed with sparkling water and some ice. That's actually pretty good. So, first week, so far so good. I was actually even patient enough to not take setups that I used up 3 of my trades on Monday already. So if I would have used three trade version 1, I would have already been out of trades on Monday. But so I took the 4th trade on Wednesday, I think, and the last trade on Thursday. All of them were losers, and because I was out of trades, I actually missed a couple of pretty good trades. But that's actually good because I'm getting more patient, and I'm getting more disciplined, and I know now more than ever that I can lose 7 out of 10 trades and still be profitable because I'm disciplined, more disciplined than before. I'm more patient, and I have more control over my emotions. That makes me a better trader, and I have good risk management. So right now, I think I've said it in the previous videos already that I'm planning on, if when I'm finally taking the FTMO challenge, I'm planning on risking 0.5% per trade. So because let's say I lose 5 trades in a row. If I would have risked 1% per trade, that's 5% already, and you're out of the FTMO challenge if you lose more than 5% during the challenge. So if I'm risking 0.5%, that's only 250 euros, depending on the challenge. That's only 2.5%, and if you lose less than 2% per day, you're alright. the challenge has the challenge has rules that you can't lose more than 2% a day, and you can't lose more than 5% during the challenge. So, but let's recap. Let's look at the trades I took. So recently, I've started to look more trades more on TradingView, because the more and more I look on TradingView, the more I look on charts on TradingView, the more when I look at the big picture, right? The more and more I see, price patterns, especially eh, the M patterns or the W patterns. I didn't see that myself, but Justin Miller called it out. Here's a W, right? So boom, he bought here, boom, price went up. So, and M patterns, when you look at Euro USD on 1 hour chart, there was a tweezer top with a bearish engulfing over here. According to Justin's settings, so he had a tweezer top with a bearish engulfing over here. But see, it's an M, right? I'm using the black and white chart layout again on TradingView because it's more. I don't need all the black and all the red and blue information. I can spot tweezers pretty easily. Here's one, right? See that? So this would have been a good indication to go short, and if you would have entered here, depending on where stop loss would have been, this would have wicked you out. But look at that, M, right? So yeah, depending on where you would have placed your stop loss, so this would have been probably would have been a stop out for me as well, maybe. But so this was probably a stop hunt, so don't feel bad about it. This happens, but yeah, you get the idea. And another tweezer top with a bearish engulfing over here, that would have stopped you out probably. There were a lot of signals going on here with adjusting settings and my settings. But Euro USD is the most manipulated currency pair in the world, so don't feel bad when you get wicked out because there are a lot of stop outs on that pair. But yeah, according to Justin's settings, I got a sell signal over here, and look at that, it's an M, right? So those patterns are pretty easy to see when you got your price condensed like that. So that's why that was the point of my rant. That's why I'm starting to look at price on TradingView more and more, because I didn't focus on too much on TradingView during these past few weeks because my indicator is on MT4. But that's a pretty uncomfortable platform, and I don't get to zoom out easily. I have to push the buttons over here or push the buttons on my keyboard. But here I can, just scroll with my mouse, and it's so convenient. And the more and more I look price on TradingView, the more I see price patterns. I see breaks and retests, so I'm taking breaks and retests in consideration again. Price action patterns combined with breaks and retests combined with support resistance. So what's that? Price action patterns, breaks and retests, support and resistance zones, and tweezer tops and bottoms with an engulfing candle. So that's 4 things I look at. They don't always need to be there, but all of those 4 don't need to be there, but those are the things I'm looking for. Okay, so let's let's go look at the trades I took. So GBP/NZD, let's look at that. GBP/NZD. So here was a trade, right? So overall downtrend, that's what I was looking at. Overall downtrend. This was a break and retest trade. There was a support line, resistance. The thing I was looking at was, price didn't actually, do a proper retest here before, so this was my explanation here. Break and retest setup, enter with blah blah. Price was also forming an M at resistance, indicating a reversal. So yeah, when you look at the smaller time frame, or you can even spot it on the 1 hour, kind of. This is kind of an M, right? At resistance, where a break and retest is occurring. Well, yeah, it actually kind of came to that line, but that trade didn't work out. So I moved on to the next one. That was my explanation and reason for entering. You can see how I marked up my zones. Again, don't what's the word I'm looking for? I'm not here to teach you. I'm not here to, don't learn from me yet, because I'm not there yet. I'm not there where I can teach you. I mean, that's my plan in the future, when I'm profitable and consistent. But don't learn from me yet. You can learn from my mistakes, but I'm not here to teach you anything. I'm just documenting my journey on how I'm becoming successful and what I'm learning, and how am I developing my mindset and all that. I drove Volt for the past 2 days, and I was in my car for like 14 hours straight driving Volt. It's minus 20. It's minus 20. It was minus 20 degrees yesterday, so my hands are all dried up and busted from the cold. Let's keep going. Catch APY. So this was what I was looking at. Price was making an M on a higher time frame. It was at the zone of resistance, right? But it wasn't at the level quite yet. But there was a, where is it? There is a tweezer top with a bearish engulfing here. So in my experience, what I've seen is price doesn't always have to touch the level, for it to reverse. because when you look at the 4-hour, it's kind of at the close of those candles where the price was previously. So this is kind of a zone where price might reverse, right? So I thought it was a good indication, and it started to drop. One of my I'm actually developing my trade managing rules as well. Right now, I think I might force a rule on my trade management where I close out when my trade is at 1 to 2 risk reward ratio, meaning that if I risk 0.5% and my trade is in profit 1%, I take my initial risk off the table, and that's what I should have done over here. I couldn't do it because I had the smallest lot size possible, but if I had traded this trade with the normal lot sizes and risks and stuff like that, this would have been a 0.5% winner because I risked 22 pips, right? And the trade went in profit. Okay, that's not the trade I'm talking about. Or yeah, it is. Okay, so it's not exactly, but sort of, right? Anyway, my point is that if I'm risking 22 pips, 44 pip profit would have meant that I'm taking my first risk off the table, and I'm putting stops to break even, right? So yeah, this would have been a stop out for me. And what ended up happening was that price came to the top of the resistance line, made a huge double tweezer top with a bearish engulfing candle. So this would have been a stop out as well. Sorry. Back away. This would have been a stop out as well, but this is most definitely some kind of a stop hunt or whatever. I don't know if it's a kangaroo or not, but yeah. I didn't take this trade. I just marked it up. I saw it kind of over here. This would have been a very good risk to reward ratio, right? So if I had traded this like I'm trading on normal occasions, this would have been a stop out. But I think I would have re-entered because I don't know. But yeah, if I would have re-entered, my trade would have looked like this, and at some point it would have been in 1 to 6 in risk to reward. But these two didn't happen, so might as well take them off. So yeah, this was this trade. And also when you condense I just saw this right now, when you condense your chart, right, it's also kind of forming an M over here, don't you think? Right? So yeah, kind of a twisted M, but still And if you look here, this is a pretty good head and shoulders, right? Anyway, moving on. NZD CHF. So this was a break and retest. You know, price is in uptrend. Can't argue with that, right? Price is in uptrend. Broke above the recent highs, came back for retest, and started to go up for a while before, you know, waking me up. Stopping me up. So yeah, price consolidated the whole week at this level, and at the end of the week started dropping, and basically that's that. No other explanations for that. So this was a break and retest. That didn't happen. Didn't work out. There was a lot of break and retests happening on NZD pairs, NZD CADs, pretty much same setup. NZD CHF, this is the trade I took. I didn't take this trade, I just marked it up. NZD CHF, NZD JPY. I'll talk about these later. NZD USD. This would have been a pretty good. This would have been a pretty good trade, depending. Well, still almost would have been would have been the 5% winner I was talking about before. And USD CAD. USD CHF. This trade right here. So this is not a break and retest, but this is a pretty clear resistance level, right? And price made a pretty decent, like, textbook tweezer tap with a bearish engulfing candle, and it dropped like crazy. And man, I wish I would have taken that trade. So, but price came back here, right? It's an overall downtrend. Price came back to that level. And look at that, tweezer top with a bearish engulfing, and there's no price to the left, but beautiful tweezer bottom with a bearish engulfing, bullish engulfing candle. So price came back, made another textbook tweezer top with a bearish engulfing candle on the H4 chart. So I thought this, you know, might go down. It started to go down initially, but ended up ranging the whole week in this zone. So finally closed before market close on Friday, no loss. And Euro CAD, this is a trade I took on Thursday, I think. Yeah, so this was one of my zones, or one, you know, key resistance level, mirror level, whatever you want to call it. I've actually only seen one person call it a mirror level. That was Yuri Bishkov. He's a trader from Ukraine. I started following him on TradingView when I first started trading a year back. I don't follow him anymore, but he's the only he's the only person I've seen who talks about mirror levels. But hey, to each his own, right? Whatever you want to call it. Supply zone, demand zone. I don't know what they are. I know what they are, but I don't know. Anyway, price came to this key zone over here, and I entered based on the 15-minute. Wanted to get a good entry with a good risk to reward, so tweezer bottom with a bullish engulfing candle, so I entered here, placed my stop here, price, stopped me out, went to this level over here, and actually gave me another entry over here. Boom, boom, right? And at some point, this would have been a 1 to 4. So if when price made it here, I would have took my initial risk off the table, placed my stops to break even, and would have let it run, but it would have, hit my break-even stop. So still half a percent win, right? There are times when price just shoots up. Oof. Well, I'll show you a few trades I missed, unfortunately. One of them I wasn't behind the computer when it happened. I didn't see it. I would have definitely taken that trade. I think it was GU. Yeah, GU. Yeah. So this was one of my zones I had marked up, and look at that, beautiful, like textbook tweezer bottom with a bullish engulfing candle. You would have even gotten better entry when you would have, gotten in on 30-minute. I think it was 30-minute. Yeah, a little bit better, not much, but nah, still pretty much the same. Anyway, I usually try to stick to the H4 and H1. And look at that. You enter here, place your stop right below the tweezers, price just skyrocketed. So this would have been 1 to 5. So I missed this trade. I saw this when price was over here somewhere, so I missed this, unfortunately. And when you look at that here, what do you see? Is this an M or what? Kind of a small M, but still, whatever. I'm starting to see, price patterns occur. When you look at the charts that much, you start seeing patterns. I think, yeah, here was another M at some point. Boom, 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 boom. And here was a beautiful entry on the H1. Beautiful entry on the H1. It's not as beautiful here, but on the MT4 signal here, right? What do you see? Sell signal. Like, come on. Basically like zero drawdown as well, so and this was my prediction for the CBBG CHF. Another trade I missed was GBP CAD, I think. Yeah, this one. Because when you look at the big picture, this is kind of a zone of resistance, right? This in particular is the last place where price had a huge sell-off. Price came back to that level, made a beautiful tweezer top with a bearish engulfing candle. I didn't take this. I saw it when price was over there. I just didn't take the trade because I thought something in the line of the CAD JPY trade might happen, where price starts going down but then shoots up. back into the higher, the more what's the word I'm looking for? More extreme high. Price might go to the most extreme high level. But one thing I should have taken in consideration is this setup occurred right at the time where GU was at its most extreme high resistance level. So it's only natural for what I've seen in my experience. So GBP USD is the major currency pair for GBP, right? And all the other GBP AUD, NZD, CAD, CHF, JPY are all the minor. They're called the minor currency pairs. Typically, when a major currency pair hits a resistance level or support level, all the other minor currency pairs get a similar reaction at some scale. So it doesn't mean that it's gonna drop when GU drops like crazy. It doesn't mean that GBP CAD it drops like crazy. It gets some kind of a similar reaction. It might not even be in a resistance level or something like that, because when GU hit this resistance level, GBP NZD hit the resistance level as well, but AUD, I think it was this or this. I think it was this one. There's no clear level of why this. Okay, there are some indications here, but still, it's not a clear level, as clear as the GU level, right? But it still fell a bit before starting consolidating. So that's what I saw. GBP CAD had came to a resistance level, gave me a beautiful entry. I chose not to enter because I thought price might shoot up here, make a stop hunt or whatever, and then drop. But what I should have taken into consideration is because I saw that GU just hit the resistance level, so naturally that might cause other GBP pairs to drop a bit. What ended up happening, but I chose not to enter this one. This would have been 1 to 4. When you look at it, when you look at price at at distance a bit, this would have been my exit, because there are a lot of reactions at this zone here. So chose not to take this trade. If I would have taken this trade, this would have been a 1 to 4 risk to reward ratio, right? So would have risked 0.5% and took off. It would have made 0.5% when price was at 1 to 2, and would have made another. How much is that? 4 times 0.25. That's 1. That's 1. Anyway, and would have made another percent when this hit take profit. So that means 3 out of my 4 losers, 4 losers would have been wiped out, and I would have only been in 0.5% in losing in drawdown. Yeah. Another trade I think you already saw was in the NZD JPY. So this is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about looking trades at TradingView, because looking at this is a pretty clear level, right? So price came here, resistance, 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 gave me a good entry right here, twisted top with a bearish engulfing, this would have been a fantastic entry because it's in a pretty strong resistance level. Price gave me a good entry to sell, but looking at this setup at TradingView, I would have definitely taken this trade. Look at this trade from MT4. I don't think I would have taken this trade because it's not as clear to me on here. And you know, Preston gave me an entry on this chart, probably because there are different liquidity providers and all that. But yeah, let's see what else I found. These trades actually Momo called out. It's a pretty good setup actually. Break and reset to set up overall downtrend, right? Price made a bounce here and started its downtrend market structure again. It's more visible on the 15 minute. So this would have been a good entry here. There's a tweezer tap. Doesn't have an engulfing candle, but still tweezer bounced from the recent resistance level. Here's another bounce, right? And the targets would have been there. So these would have been two winners. I saw when Momo called them out, but I don't want to take other people's trades. I want to find my own. There's nothing wrong with taking trades from other traders, but for the purpose of this challenge I'm on right now, I'm doing this challenge for 30 days, so 4 weeks basically. My first week is over, and I took five losers, but that's okay because stuff like this happens every week. So if you just stay patient and stay vigilant, I think that's a good word here. I'm not I'm not 100% sure on the definition, but if you stay persistent, if you stay patient, if you stay disciplined and control your emotions and control risk, stuff like this happens every week. They don't always work out, but if they work out most of the time, and if you just stay patient enough, you're gonna win. This was the USDC CHF trade. Actually, Nick Sean, the man I learned a break and retest from, took the same trade, but he waited for price to break that level over here, come back for retest. I took this price test based on the tweezer top with the bearish engulfing. We both got the same entry, more or less, but he closed after price, didn't manage to break this resistance level, so he closed in small profit, I think. Let's see what else I got. Actually, channels are something I've also kind of not been using that much, but just taken into consideration. So this was a pretty good downward channel, right? Price made a reaction over here, over here, over here, over here, and actually there were some pretty good entries here. So this was one. I actually took this one when I started my new demo. I started the new demo account on the start of the year, but decided I'm not gonna trade the new demo account because I want to take My small dream is to take this demo account back to 10k where I started from. It's right now it's at 6.3, so I've lost 3.7k trading this demo account. Still hoping. Anyway, price gave me an entry over here, then again over here. This would have been a fantastic entry. Enter here, stop loss behind the tweezer. This would have been a good exit. Right, so 1 to 5. This trade would have been 1 to 5. So yeah. Now, depending on what price does, if it breaks this support and comes back for retest, I'll enter for a sell. If price comes back here, makes a tweezer bottom with a bullish engulfing candle, I'll enter a buy because it's a pretty decent support level now. We'll see how that goes. Silver. So this would have been a fantastic. I didn't take this trade. I took this trade. Got stopped out before, dropped like a rock. But yeah, I go tweezer top with a bearish engulfing. Enter here. Exit the trade at the next resistance. Even this would have been a decent, exit. This one over here. 1 to 2.3. So this would have been a fantastic trade. Don't know where it's gonna go right now. It's stuck in a kind of a range. So when we get a retest of this zone, maybe I'll enter a sell. But when price comes back here, then I'll look for a buy entry. Same thing on gold. And Bitcoin, currently at 36,000. Man. I had a buy position in here at 10k. Price consolidated too much, so I closed it. Anyway, a lot of good break and retest setups could have taken here. Price in an overall uptrend, obviously, right? Came back here. It's pretty good, pretty decently visible on the 15-minute chart. So price fell over here, started ranging a bit, but then started coming back to its uptrend structure. Broke. Why did I have an entry over here? Okay, probably because of the tweezer. No, it's not. That's not what I'm looking for. Those are both bullish candles. Okay, weird. I don't know why I did it. Okay. So scratch that. I don't know why I had an entry over there. Okay, probably because of this, but that's not what I'm looking for in a tweezer bottom, so I don't know why I had that over there. But still, price came back to its uptrend structure, broke above recent highs, started retesting, and then before shooting up. Same thing over here, same thing over here. So yeah, these would have been some decent trades, and there are some other setups I think bad as well, but it's already 45 minutes long. It's getting late. I have to go to work tomorrow, so I think I'll crash. But that's it for this video. I'm gonna continue one of my collage challenge for another three weeks. Hopefully, I've developed enough patience and discipline and emotional control by then to start thinking about taking the FTMO challenge, because one of my aspirations is to become a full-time forex trader, and that's pretty easily, I say easily because it is easy, you have to pass the FTMO challenge, and by next month you can have 5k in split profits. Forex is a very simplistic, very simple, it's simple but it's not easy. That's the correct way to say it. It's very simple to become a full-time forex trader with FTMO, but it's not easy. All you have to do is pass the challenge and you can have your first 5k profit split by the end of next month. But it's not easy. You have to control your mind. You have to stay patient, stay disciplined, stay in control of your emotions. You have to have good risk management. And notice that I didn't even what's the word I'm looking for? I didn't even mention your trading strategy, because you can pretty much, if you have good risk management and you have good, emotional control, and you have enough patience and discipline, the trading strategy doesn't really matter that much. It's true. Trading is more about self-development than you can think of. Trading is more, if you don't develop yourself, if you don't improve your mindset, your discipline, whatever, the discipline, emotional, risk control, the trading is more about self-development than any other business model I have encountered, and that's the hard, cold truth. But yeah, that's it for this video. I didn't plan on talking for 50 minutes. I'll see you in the next video. If you got any value out of this video, feel free to subscribe or hit the like button. I'm not here to teach you anything, I'm not here to sell you anything, I'm just here documenting my journey and talking about things I've learned and I'm testing and I'm trying out and I'm seeing and learning and improving. Right, so cheers, see you on the next video.